Welcome back, everyone. Today we are taking a special look at a video that I discovered a couple days ago from Taboo Conspiracy. I decided to take a crack at debunking this video because in real time, I was able to identify every flaw he makes in his argument. And the flaws in his argument are so fallacious that I've even asked Anthony Riley to come and give me some assistance in how we should evaluate this video.
Is he being dishonest at this point? Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt for the moment. We'll say that he's not being dishonest. But we'll rank up all the points that he makes in this video and we'll conclude overall, does this guy come across as honest and wrong, or does he come across as dishonest?
So using Anthony's suggestion, I ask everyone, evaluate it for yourself and see if you can identify where the problem lies. So what do you say so far, Anthony?
Dishonest and wrong.
Well, that's a pretty bold claim. So at this point, I'm going to blatantly say that I agree with Anthony. He's being dishonest. Intentionally, overtly, blatantly dishonest. And the first thing I need to do to show you this dishonesty is simple. Let's go back to Google Earth and turn on the grid lines. You'll notice that he conveniently did not have the grid lines turned on. By using the grid lines, let's measure some of these directions that he thinks were inaccurate. And we're going to start at the geographic South Pole. I'm only going to hit some of the major directions, but it'll show my point. So at 0 degrees and 60, we are looking at about 2,070 miles-ish. So let's go at 180 and 60. We're again at about 2,080 miles. None of these miles comport with what he showed us. Let's go to 90 and 60. Too far. Again, about 2,080 miles. We are not finding the 600-mile discrepancy that he described in his video. Again, at about 2,080. These are not the distances he gave us. And I'm going to show you how I came to these distances to be completely different than his. Because as you'll notice, I use the geographic South Pole. as indicated by the lines of longitude. How did he identify the geographic South Pole? Through the search function. So even though the geographic South Pole is defined as 90 degrees south, he accepted the location of it in Google Maps as 85 south. Now, why would he do that? And again, conveniently leave off the grid lines.
I'm going to argue that he's being dishonest and wrong.
The spherical ball is actually a ceremonial pole, but because we're on a glacier here, any pole you put in the ground actually moves over the course of the year. So what we have over at the American flag is what we call the real pole. Every year they survey that to make sure it's at 90 degrees south.
Why so many South Poles is actually a good question, but he even left off a very important South Pole, the magnetic South Pole. But let's take a look at the South Poles that he's indicated. Firstly, the South Pole you've shown on the map. I literally have no idea how you identified that spot on a map, because it's not in Google Earth, and that's not where the South Pole is. But let's go back to Google Maps and see where these other poles are. The geographic South Pole we've already shown is not at the geographic South Pole. The ceremonial South Pole does not appear to be near the geographic South Pole. But if we just take the word of Google Earth, which we've already shown to be incorrect, we would once again be very wrong, and in my opinion, deceptive and dishonest. So firstly, let's actually look up where the ceremonial South Pole actually is. With a simple 30-second Google search, we can identify where the ceremonial South Pole is. And we can see that the ceremonial South Pole is located at Edmondson Scott South Pole Station. Well, since the ceremonial South Pole, according to his own video, was very near the geographic South Pole, let's find out where Edmondson Scott South Pole Station is. And according to Wikipedia, Edmondson Scott South Pole Station is at 8959 south, virtually 90 south. So let's go back over to Google Earth and find out where Edmondson Scott South Pole Station is. Immediately you'll notice it is nowhere near the geographic South Pole, according to Google Earth, or the ceremonial South Pole, according to Google Earth. And if we zoom in on it to get its precise location, according to Google Earth, it's at 85 south, not 90 south, where every other reference refers to all of these locations at 90 south. But somehow Google Earth has them in the wrong spot. Now, as Anthony Riley stated in the beginning,
You have to ask yourself the question, is this honest?
I contend he's being deceptive because of one simple fact. If you were to conveniently turn off the grid lines, nobody would know that you weren't actually looking at the geographic South Pole, and they would assume that you're right. Because with those grid lines, it is obvious you're lying. And not only did Taboo Conspiracy commit this fraudulent and blatant lie, Globebusters mirrored it. because that's the level of standards they have. Rather than try and tell you the truth, they hide behind deception and lies.
Yeah, if we dumped what we found right now, it'd be bad. It would be bad. So what I just told you is confidential.
Okay, I won't say it.